decentralized learning platform and like Kahoot.
It's a bit low.
They are to a certain degree techy, so I will not go into too much details here, as I hope you are interested. You can go through them yourself. My goal is to make you curious enough to do your own research in the Catalyst proposal area. So I started my career as a professional software developer way back in 1999. My career is somewhat summarized on LinkedIn for you to check. In these 22 plus years of work, I have had different roles, working in both large enterprise and startups, and in different countries. My proposals are about e-learning. I was involved in the developing of a distance learning platform for data environment around 15 years ago. And for the past 3 years, I was CTO at Prism, a cutting-edge adaptive learning platform based on machine learning in Cambridge. Everything was fine in my career until at some point I became trapped in the rabbit hole of blockchain, and I quit my job. Like that. I spent more than a year digging, experimenting, and research until I fell in love with Cardano, and now I work full-time on it. There are many reasons, but the most important are the scientific approach based on collective intelligence to avoid rely on just one person, even if it's a genius. As a functional developer, my admiration for the mathematical rigor of Haskell and the solid, large, and passionate Cardano community made up by dreamers who want to make the world better. The Cardano community is not an army of traders. I feel part of the community, and my desire is to bring my deep knowledge of e-learning into the Cardano ecosystem. Blockchain is much more than just crazy DeFi speculation and silly NFT apes or similar. Blockchain and e-learning have a huge potential for social impact. But blockchain and e-learning is not just about storing your certificate somewhere to prove what you have accomplished. It is about providing what you are learning in a granular way, chapter by chapter, exercise after exercise. If so, it means that expensive course taken or passed in a fancy US academy, for example, could be comparable in value and prestige to the course taken and passed in Nigeria, for example, because ultimately what matters will be what you learn and not where you learned it. To better understand this concept, please go to poly.net. Time is ticking, and I should talk about the proposals. I have designed 3 autonomous components that will be the pillars of a much larger solution. The ultimate goal is to build an open source decentralized learning platform. It is worth mentioning that currently nothing similar exists on the market, nor adopting other blockchains. The decentralized learning platform has to provide tools for publishing a learning material not owned by a single central authority, updating or evolving learning material by community using collective intelligence, letting students own their learning journey data, such as progress, passed fail assessment, exposed content, and so on, letting the student own their certification document, compensated economically creator for learning content, generally topics expert, compensating economically the verifiers of students' knowledge, general teacher, compensating economically for coding, fixing, evolving the platform. They are general developers, architect, tester, and tech contributors. The decentralized learning platform will be owned by all its contributors, no companies. It will be self-sustained through the course sold. It will be managed and coordinated by a DAO and financed by a DAO treasury. Revenue stream to contributor will come from treasury. Sponsorship from a VC or company will come, but the platform ownership is not for sale. This is not some sort of dream, it is happening. The Learning DAO is already successful working on this with professional contributors. Follow it on Twitter for updates and in GitHub for details. So let's come back to the 3 autonomous modules as a part of the decentralized learning platform. Proof of lifelong learning, poly.net. for letting students own their data. That is work in progress. Proof of co-creation, POCRE, for making sure the content creator has the opera recognized. And this is work in progress. So the final and vital part is the like Kahoot module, also called Bounder, based on understanding. It will guarantee the economic sustainability of the learning platform. Students will pay for the verification of their knowledge in a kind of gamified mode, betting on the right answer. Bright students could have their education for free. Other students just pay for it. Bounder is inspired by the white paper AVMCQ, Evidential Multiple Choice Questions, and also inspired by the business model of Kahoot. Kahoot is the first of the top 10 largest edtech company in the world. So if you are interested on the social aspect of learning, I hope I have convinced you to vote for these proposals. But if you are also interested in ADA value and your investment in Cardano, think about the e-learning market size that is 181 billion by 2025 and 377 billion by 2030. Let's think about the 50 million monthly user of Kahoot. Seems like a lot of ADA transaction to me. So that said, I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and I hope you will make the right use of your vote power